Howdy, Beefalo Bart here, and welcome. Alright, started up a little bit before I was ready to start, but oil well. If I wasn't crap, you wouldn't love me. If you hear some noise in the background, don't mind that, it's just a hurricane. The status of it right now is it's creeping towards us, and right now it's just a little bit of wind and a lot of rain. Probably going to get about a foot of rain in the next 24 hours or so. But thankfully I have a kayak in case it gets too bad. Yeah, the Hunter Classic. Back in 2009 this game came out. 10 years ago. So, I mean, it's a 10-year-old game. But it still holds good. For a long time it was buy a boxed version of it at Wally World or wherever, and it was standalone. It wasn't associated with Steam, but you can get it through Steam, but you still end up having to set up an account here on thehunter.com. And for a long time, the way it worked is once you've got the game, it was one hunting reserve. I don't remember which one it was originally. But you got one hunting area, and I can't remember which one it was. I think it was this one right here. But either way, it was one hunting area, and you could only kill two species of animals, which was blacktail and whitetail, I think, or blacktail and something, or even still, I think it started off with just one species, the black-tailed deer only, and you only had the 243 rifle. If you wanted more, you had to buy either tags for certain other species, or you had to get permits for the different hunting reserves and things of that nature, or you can get, which is equivalent to a season pass, and it's good for 1 year. It allows you to hunt everywhere and every species. But you still only have the 243, and you had to buy other weapons. Well, it's now free to play, and as far as I remember, it should be free to download through Steam as well. They use two different types of currency in-game. One is GM, which you can see right here on this. This is the in-game currency. Now, I've spent a bunch, so that's why I'm almost broke again. For the longest time, you really couldn't do a whole lot with your GM and your game money. Wasn't a whole lot you could do with it. But you could buy some items from the store, but not all of them. Just a select few. And then there was EM, which is their premium currency, which you actually had to purchase. And you still have to purchase that if you want to buy some items. But what they've done is go to the store. You've got bundles, and if you're wanting to get into it, and I definitely got to get the Jeep. I haven't done that yet. I just started playing again after some time of being away from it because I didn't want to have to keep paying for a new season pass every year. But you got 3 different Jeeps here, but there's also another premium version which kind of looks like the Jurassic Park Jeep, which, I gotta have that one. But it's 5,000 EM, so it's gonna cost you a few bucks. So if you 5,000, that's gonna be $44 worth of real U.S. dollars. $44 to be able to buy that frickin' Jeep. So I'm in no rush to get it yet. But you'll find sale items like the 5-pin rangefinder bow sight. I've got that one. It's well worth getting. I've got a couple compound bows, but that's well worth getting. But as you can see, you can buy it with EM or you can buy it with GM. So just under 6,000 EM, which is or GM, which is the game money. So bundles were the way to go. Arctic Winter Camo I don't remember if you get the Arctic camo or not, or any Arctic clothing. I cannot remember. Sorry, I'm crap on that, but I've already got it. You need it if you're going to hunt in one of the maps that's actually an Arctic map, where you're going to find polar bear, bison, moose, a couple other species like the Arctic fox and Arctic hare. If you're going to buy a bundle, that's not a bad one. I believe that's a 7mm mag. You get the compound bow, and you get the 22 pistol. The 22 pistol is going to be your best friend for going after rabbits. Smelly Healthy Camper Bundle. Okay. So I guess that's going to be sent to Scent Eliminator, First Aid Kit, and camping supplies. You use the camping supplies to fast travel inside the game itself, unless you just want to end your hunt and start a new hunt and start from a new location. But yeah, the large inventory. There's some good bundles. If you want to do goose hunting, there's a lot of species. And to kind of give you an idea of the species, I'll look at the weapons here, and I'm just going to click on the first rifle here. Of course, that's a premium. I wouldn't pay $44 for it, but whatever. You can see the Alpine Ibex. I'm not going to read out all the species. You can go to thehunter.com, create an account, and read through all these. But you've got Ibex to black-tailed deer, black bear, bison, bighorn sheep, coyotes, rabbits, geese, all kind of different waterfowl, mallard ducks to whatever. You got moose, pheasant, foxes, reindeer, turkey, water buffalo. Werewolf was for a Halloween event. You don't just normally see werewolves around on the map. But there's a lot of different game you can actually hunt, which is pretty cool. And you see for this particular rifle, all the different scopes available. Of course, you have to purchase them separately to be able to use those. But weapons-wise, rifles, you've got bolt-action rifles, lever-action rifles. You got two different AR-15s that are set up for varmint hunting and things of that nature. You've got double rifle over and under, which is a 9.3 by 74R. Pretty healthy cartridge. Some European rifles, 30R, 7 by 64. The 405 lever action, 30-06, 6.5 by 55. It's a bolt action. You got a lever action 17 HMR. That one looks like it'd be a lot of fun. I haven't really checked into it much because, well, like I said, getting back into the game and just starting to hunt again. And of course, the hurricane's going to hit tomorrow, and probably won't be able to play for a week after tomorrow. 270, 7 mag, 308, 30-06 lever action. There's another AR-15 with camo. One thing that I think is really cool, you've got 03 Springfield, 22 rifle. You got a Sharps rifle. They just call it the 4570 Buffalo rifle, but it's a Sharps. Mosin Nagant, and yes, you can get the appropriate PU scope for it. 4570 lever action. Lee Enfield rifle in 303. Love it. Haven't got it yet. I need to get it and the 03 Springfield and the Mosin Nagant. 30-30 lever action. I've got that one. 22 caliber air rifle, PCP air rifle. I've got that one. K98 Mauser. I've got that one with scope. 223s. 8x57 Anschutz, 9.3 Anschutz. I use this one a lot for big game, and I use this for medium game, the 308 Anschutz. 270, 300 Win Mag, I've used it quite a bit. 30-06 lever action there, I've used it a few times. The 243 is your starter rifle. You can see I have 5 of them because I bought the season pass 5 different times, and I got a new rifle each time. So. But that's just the rifles. You've also got handguns from a 10mm 1911, .45 long Colt, single action revolvers. This is my primary that I use to hunt big game with and medium game with. The 454 Casull. I've also used the 22 pistol. I've got this version down here. I'm sorry. I've got both of these 454s. 308 single shot, like a Thompson Center Encore. You got a Smith & Wesson Performance Center 44 mag. I don't have that one. I've got the Ruger Super Red Hawk and 44 mag. 357 Magnum Ruger. Got that. Shotguns. 10 gauge lever action. I haven't tried those yet. This is one of the ones that I definitely want to get. It's the side-by-side 16 gauge. I love 16 gauge. Just my thing. I like it. 20 gauge semi-automatic. Let's see. What shotguns do I have? You got gold-plated pump. The Royal Edition. 12 gauge side-by-side. This is the one I primarily use. Or the pump. I think got single barrel also. Yeah, since I have two of them for some reason, but two single barrel shotguns. Bows and crossbows. Pretty good setup of bows. Compound bows. Got a cableback bow. Crossbow pistol. I haven't tried that and really haven't seen a need for it yet. More compound bows. Crossbows. Recurves. Longbow. I've got this one, and this one. The recurve bow has no sights on it whatsoever, so you have to actually, shoot it with no sights. And I used it on one hunt, fired one arrow, killed one deer, accomplished the mission that I was doing. Because there's missions that you can do to earn more GM, to buy more cool stuff. The crossbow, when you get used to it, it's an amazing amount of fun. Same thing with the bow. Muzzleloaders. You got two different ones here. I love using the traditional. I used to have one of both of those. But I've used it quite a few times with and without a scope. Muzzleloading pistol, 50 caliber pistol. And on the advanced firearms, I'm not sure why the Scout's in here, the Steyr Scout, because it's got an automatic bipod system. Apparently, if you go in the prone position and aim with the scope, then it automatically deploys the bipod, and it's a whole lot more stable whenever you're aiming with it. And you've got, a black version also. But you have, I don't know why that one's elite versus standard. I hadn't looked, but these two are just one's a prettier version of the other. They're drillings, and what a drilling is a side-by-side shotgun in this case. It's a double-barrel 16-gauge shotgun with a rifle barrel underneath the two shotgun barrels. So you've got a 9.3 by 74R, which is a pretty hefty cartridge. So you got a big game rifle and a shotgun that you can load birdshot, buckshot, or slugs. You've got your choice of ammo in that. So you could carry all three different types of shotgun shells and the rifle shells, and you can pretty much take just about everything. You can buy additional ammo. Some of the guns, as far as I remember, what you got as standard, you got 5 rounds or 10 rounds. I can't remember which. But you can buy additional, so you can stay out and hunt longer and be able to shoot longer. I know, because normally you're only carrying 5 rounds, or whatever's loaded into the gun with 5 extras or whatever. So carrying a spare box of ammo is a good thing. But you get all the different types of ammo, and some ammo types have multiple different versions, like a standard and a high velocity version. I believe the 17 HMR, there's 2 different versions of the ammo for that. So you can look like handgun ammunition, 10 millimeter. Like I said, I'm going to be getting that 10 millimeter before too long. 22 long rifles, good for the rifle and the pistol. You get the idea. And you can buy more arrows, crossbow bolts. You can get tracer arrows that will be illuminated. You can see them flying through the air. It's pretty cool. You get Cupid Arrows. It's just a red tracer arrow. There were a special that came out during Valentine's Day. And in the muzzleloading, you've got 45 caliber and 50 caliber. But in the 50 caliber, you got 3 different types of projectiles: round balls, conicals, or minier balls, and ballistic tips. Sights, pretty much going to be your optics. You got all kind of different scopes, and if you want to know what scope to get, well, can I use this 6x20 vintage scope on my whatever? Just click on it and it'll tell you what it'll go on. That one only works on the 17 HMR. So as you're looking at the scopes, it'll tell you what's what. 2 to 10, probably need to get this one eventually. And it works on pretty much all the rifles. Not all of them, but quite a bit. Handgun. For the 10mm 1911, I will be getting that optic to go along with it. I've already got these 2 pistol scopes, a fixed 2 power and then a 2 to 4x. And of course that only works on the 308 single shot pistols. But in shotgun sights, you got an aim point, and you've got a 2 to 6x slug scope. Bow and crossbow, you got some different sighting options for that. And muzzleloader, you only got just the one, and it only works on the traditional. You can get dogs. You got retrievers, which will, as the name implies, they will retrieve. So if you're out there duck hunting or goose hunting or whatever, you can give them a command, they'll run out and retrieve all your birds and bring them back to you. You got other stuff like collars, backpacks for your dogs, dog treats. So as you're training them, you can give them dog treats. Scent hounds, good for tracking. German pointers, I haven't tried those or seen much of what they do. Lures, they help. Using them if you're going after elk, it's like urine, and you spray it on, and it's supposed to help lure the animals into you. Collars are going to be your important thing. I believe you start with the deer bleat. This one right here. Yeah, it says I own 4 of them. That's going to work for a bunch of different species, but you're going to want that one for sure. That one, okay. Depending on what else you're going to be going after, I definitely do a lot of moose hunting, so I like the moose collar. The predator jackrabbit, great for calling in foxes and coyotes. I used to do a lot of red deer hunting. Roe deer, they're the size of a German Shepherd at most. They're small deer. Reindeer rattle, I've got most of these things. Don't have much in the way of duck calls because I haven't really done a whole lot of duck hunting. It's best to actually have a blind set up for doing that. You can set out bait for hog and bear, and of course you got salt licks for deer. You got decoys you can set out for predators and for waterfowl. So if you want to set out your decoys in the water, or turkey as well. Electronic collars, I haven't tried those. Clothing, you can get kind of wrapped up in the clothing part. I've got a full ghillie suit. I've got the basic Arctic jacket set. I've got the trapper set. Let's see what else. Yeah, you got to have the Arctic clothing for whenever you're out there on that ice map, or else you will freeze, and no bueno. That's part of the ghillie set. Let's see what else. Yeah, the trapper jacket. So when I want to go the full Beefalo Bart mode, I can do that. Sorry. Boone and Crockett jacket. I don't remember where some of these came from. I bought a bunch, and then yeah, that kind of stuff. But again, you got the Equipment, things like binoculars. The first thing I bought was a rangefinder, and I ended up going to the different binoculars. Since I own 4 of these, I use the binoculars more than I use the rangefinder anymore. The rangefinder is good if you're going to be doing archery. Camera if you just want to go take pictures, but you don't need it to take pictures of your kills. I like those. Don't need them, but I like them. Range finding binoculars. I keep forgetting that I got those. Unless that's what I'm actually carrying. I don't remember what I carry. How I got to go back in and look at it. Now, hunting this is not a fast-paced game where you're, going into a map and you're killing 400 animals. It's not a high-paced, fast-paced, high-yield, high-action game. It's a hunting game. So there's going to be times when you're waiting in a stand, using your calls, and you might do an hour hunt and maybe kill 2-3 animals. You may do an hour hunt and you may kill 15 animals. It just depends on the map. And it's random. So the Hunter's Mate, and I'll go into a game here in just a second to show you what the Hunter's Mate is, but it's like your GPS tracking system and GPS mapping system. You can get Hunter Mate minigame games here. It's Lane Bandit and Bust something. But these are like apps. You can play You can play video games inside your video game. I know, it doesn't sound good. Consumables, water bottle. Some of the hotter maps you're going to need water so that you can stay hydrated, or else your character will have to sit in the shade and wait it out for a little bit. Climbing gear. There are some areas that if you want to get to them, the only way there is with climbing gear, and it can kind of be a pain in the butt to climb, unless they've changed it. I know it was kind of a pain in the butt. Camping supplies are, if you're in the map, you're in a hunt, and you don't want to end the hunt and start from a new location, you can use up camping supplies to fast travel between locations on the map that you've already got, like a tent or a camp or whatever. Scent eliminator comes in handy for eliminating your scent. First aid kits. If you get injured, you fall off a mountain and get injured, or you get attacked by an animal, yes, there are dangerous animals, then you're going to need to use a first aid kit to heal yourself, or your hunt's over. Wind indicator. It's not as important as it used to be. Since I got 149 of them, I never purposely bought them. I got them as part of other packs or whatever. Deployables. You've got range marker flags. You can buy them by the actual range. So if you're 25, 50, and 75 for archery maybe, or what have you. A shooting tripod rest. Didn't know those existed. Plain marker flags. Deployable hunting towers are awesome. I've got this version right here, the camo. Deployable hunting towers. You set them up and you've got, a hunting tower. And if I'm not mistaken, you can actually spawn there or start from there. A hunting horn, didn't know it existed. Deployable targets. There are a couple maps that have shooting ranges, so if you wanted to go to a shooting range, then you could. I'm assuming that you can lay out a shooting mat anywhere you want now and put targets out at whatever range you want and set up your own private shooting range. What's happening, my brother? This is the game that I was always talking about, the hunting game that I played quite a bit. But now that it's free to download and free to play, it's even much more awesomer. Tripod, I got 1 or 2 of those. Once you put them down, you can pick them back up and move them to another map. But they come in quite handy for setting up to hunt with. Yeah, right there. Tripod stand. The ground blinds, I've got that one, and I got a tree stand, so you can go up to some of the trees and actually put up a tree stand and hunt from there. The ground stands or blinds, you can set those up and hunt from those. These are great for the waterfowl blind. That's what they're for. A tent. Tents will act like a mobile spawn point. You can take this, put it in your backpack, and like trapper tent, or I've got that one, that one, that one, that one. You can take a tent, put it in your backpack, and you go out there into the field. You find a spot that's just absolutely outstanding. I've got one on one map that is outstanding for bison and moose. I can usually start up a game, like I went on that map earlier tonight, and as soon as I frickin' spawned, there was a damn moose like within 600 feet away. So you find a spot that you absolutely love that takes you forever to walk to, and plop down a tent. Next time you start playing the game, you can start at your tent. You can also have access to your inventory and change your weapons, grab some more ammo, that kind of stuff right there. Bear bait barrel, hog feeders, and goat mineral feeders. These are for each specific critter. You can put those out, and supposedly they work even if you're offline, to quote unquote, that will attract the animals to that location. There were some special event items, and of course, I had to have the beefalo mustache, so I got the beefalo stash. It's called the Hulk, but I got that one. It was during Movember. I haven't got a trophy lodge yet. Trophy lodges are going to be for placing down, like if you got a really kick-ass high-end trophy animal you've taken, then you can actually put the head there. You can pay for taxidermy and have it put up there. I'm not sure what all these. Reset all missions. Mission reset. There was a lot of missions that are available, and you could be her if you want to. Trophy shot poses. Yeah, so if you want to be kneeling instead of standing up next to your animal or whatever. Alright, so that's awesome. So it is a multiplayer game as well. So you got single player game, multiplayer. If you want to find a friend's game, just find multiplayer game. Or if you want to create one, create it that way. I'm just going to go in for a single player. Now, each of the map areas, this is one that I was on earlier. I was looking for polar bear, and they're only like in this area right here. But you can mouse over the shack, and you can see that it's snowshoe hare, Arctic fox, polar bear, and doll sheep. A dow or doll, whatever. So you can see what you're going to find around that particular hunting lodge. Each location is going to have 2 different lodges. This one's going to have bison, sitka deer, moose, and doll sheep. But I have a tent set up here. This is a little frozen lake right here, and this is kind of like a set of steps of where like rapids were, and it's all frozen. I put my tent here, and I can actually spawn now and start from that tent. And there's usually a buttload of bison and moose right around that area. But you can also, like, okay, if I want to go to this hunting preserve here, now you see there's a buttload of towers here. You can use these towers if you want to. Just go up to them and use them. The campsite there. This is a different hunting reserve here. I think this was the free-to-play starting one, and it was just the one lodge. I don't remember which one's which. But, yeah, like this right here. Single rise clay shooting and pistol. So it's got 2 different shooting ranges on this one, and it'll tell you that the common animals you're going to find are Roosevelt elk, blacktail deer, turkey, and coyotes. And usually whenever there is 2, like this one right here, there's bobcat here on this one that you wouldn't get on the other one. So just because you're at this area, each of the 2 lodges are potentially going to have different animals that you're going to see there. So figure out what you want to shoot. Okay, this one's got a rifle range. and double rise clay pigeon range. You figure out what you want to hunt, like, okay, mule deer, pheasant, feral hog, coyote, whitetail, cottontail, bobcats, muleys. You know what? I think this might have been the starting zone. I don't know. This is. I've got a beer. I've got a beer. I've got a bear bait barrel there. There's a campsite. Sergeant's Rest. Okay. And this one, a lot of crapola. Settlers Creek. This one we're just at. Red Feather Falls. Yeah, this one was actually a pretty good spot here. I've actually got a tripod stand. I'll go ahead and, this is my tent. I'll select my tent. That's on a little island right there, and this is usually an area that I get a lot of animals. Unfortunately, whenever you mouse over your tents, it doesn't tell you what's in that area. So you find the closest lodge. Both lodges are down south, but you're going to find black bear, Roosevelt elk, blacktail, and whitetail deer. That's just whitetail and moose. So that's typically what you're going to find here. I'm going to go ahead and start the game. You can actually set what time you want to start, like 9 a.m., 5 a.m., whatever. Now I'm going to go ahead and start the game, and it's going to take me a minute to get set back to... The screen's going to go black, in other words, for just a few moments. So let's get this thing kicked off here. Alright, so I've got everything turned up as high as I can get it turned up, settings wise. So you're just going to see that, what's on the screen, for just a few moments here. As soon as the map actually loads in on my end, I can tab out and switch the scene. I don't have the scene set up, or I could just hit one key and it would suddenly work. We'll have to turn the volume down though. The volume seemed to be a little bit on the low side for the game, but then again also I crank up the volume really, really, really loud. That way I can actually hear everything. So if you got headphones, they're probably even better, because you usually can pick up a little bit more sensitivity in your hearing. So for me, I just turned the volume up really loud because there's nobody else in the room but me. Alright, let me switch this scene over really quickly. Really? Yep, bear with me for just a moment here. It is not giving me the screen that I want. So sorry, you're going to see a black screen for just a few moments here. What in the hell? Why did you... It's not showing all of my data that it normally shows for some reason. No, I don't want to log out. No, I don't want studio mode. Sorry, yeah, you're gonna have to bear with me for just a moment. There we go. I don't know why it does this. There we go. Got good video now? Does everything look lovely? You should be able to see everything on screen now. Alright, cool. Yeah, so this is my tent, my little happy camper tent. And this is my little starting island that I usually stick to. But since this is my starting tent, don't necessarily need this rifle here. But you can pick a rifle and say, okay, this is a 243. How about black powder? And let's use that traditional scope. And let's see, pistol wise, I got the 454. That's delightful. No scope. I can put a scope on there, but I'm going to leave it without a scope because I've been known to actually walk up and walk, like earlier tonight, I walked up to a frickin' bison that was within 20 feet away from the damn thing. And it jumped up, and all I had was a rifle with a scope on it. And everything had a scope on it. It was a little bit unpleasant. So, besides the black powder, let's carry, just to be oddball, love this rifle right here. So I'll take that. 308 nozzle repetitions. That is 9.3 ammo. I don't need that. But I will put a scope on this one. We'll do the 3 to 9 by. Clothing wise, I don't need my Arctic clothing on right now, so I can actually change it out. You can drag it in there, or you can select it from here. Put on my trapper clothes so I can look like me and get my porn stash. You can also carry an extra. I've got a backpack on already. I don't have anything to go on that, so equipment wise I'm good for everything I need here, I believe. I get deer bleed, the moose color, elk bugler, hog squealer, and my predator jackrabbit collar, and this is my range finding binoculars. Okay, but I can grab this hunting blind if I want to, carry it with me and set it up. If I've got any pets, I can carry whatever dog I want, but you use this to actually go through and pick out all your gear. And that's delightful. So let's change out. I already see a frickin' moose. I see 3 or 4 things walking here. Yeah, I haven't even left the starting island. That's why I put this tent here, so I'd have plenty of good stuff to hunt with. Yes, black powder does take a while to load. It's like real life. Then, gotta load the rifle. Load the pistol. And then I'm gonna switch over to my binoculars because alright, I just saw. Alright, there's a deer right there. There's 2 of them. I know you may not be able to see as clear a detail there, but there's also a moose with a really nice rack on him right there. I know that's a doe there, and pretty sure that's a doe. But this moose right here, I mean, I could take the shot now, but let's I'm gonna drop down in a prone position. Just call that moose, so hopefully it'll catch his attention and he'll start coming back this way. Like the little knockdown vegetation there. There we go. So I can actually scroll with the mouse wheel. And I pulled my shot. Somebody was talking to me. Yeah, it's free to download, free to play. So you can go. You can find it on Steam, and download it. It's fully multiplayer. It's free to download, free to play. I'm gonna left click with my mouse now. So when I go back to my hunter's mate, I can actually tag a location. So if I know where I shot, and this is kind of a prime example here, I shot a little bit high, so it was kind of a lung shot. So I know where my critter is. Trouble is here is I don't remember what the damn sprint key is, but you don't really want to be going around sprinting anyway. If you're standing up completely or you're trying to run, you will scare everything around. Of course, sparking off a .308 caliber round, I'll do the same thing, but yeah, I mean, for multiplayer wise, I can host a multiplayer, or somebody else could host a multiplayer. I can join in on their hunt. All the gear that I have, it goes to Steam initially, but then it launches out to thehunter.com. So once you set it up, install it, and run it, you'll probably have to go to thehunter.com and set up an account. Or you can do that first before you actually download it and all too. But go to thehunter.com, one word. And by the way, the Q key is something that'll save you a lot of headache. Press Q and it's auto walk. But yeah, I mean, I could start a fresh hunt, set it up as multiplayer, put a password on it, and only whoever I want can join. So if I say, hey, I want Eagle only to join, I'll set a password of whatever, and whoever I give the password to, once you find my game, then all you got to do is just enter the password and come on in. Oh. Shot placement is very important. I will say that is I shot a little bit high, so it's still gonna be a lung shot. Oh, delightful. Sorry. A lot of you know I'm having issues medically with a cyst in my armpit. One of two cysts that I have. I just decided I wanted to drain a little bit. Not like just suddenly feeling wet, But anyway, you can see the red dot on the map there. That's because I tagged that area with my range-finding binoculars. So I know that red dot is about where my moose was. So if I come over here, I can see that there's a red dome kind of sticking up through the grass. That's going to be a track. And I can walk over to it, left click, and it shows to me that it's a moose roaming and the approximate weight. Now, you don't always get that data. When you first start out, you don't get anything. It just says moose roaming or whatever. You won't get, oh, it's a male, or you won't get how much it weighs or how many points it is. Using binoculars to spot. So a lot of the missions have reset, so I keep getting new awards and stuff. So I can see here, there's another dome. Since I'm on the track of the moose that I just picked up those tracks for, whenever I see a full red dome like that, then that is the track that I'm following. Yeah, it's the Hunter Classic. I've got all three of them. I've got the Hunter Primal and I've got the Hunter Standalone or whatever. But this is the Hunter Classic, and this is the one that I preferred. The Hunter Primal was fun for a little while, but it was annoying that you didn't have the weapons and stuff like that. You had to find weapons, and bows and arrows, and you're trying to go against frickin' T-Rexes with a bow and arrow. It annoyed me more than anything. But you can see now on my hunter mate that it shows like a direction of which way the animal was going. I know it's not actually going this way because I shot it and it ran this direction. I can see another dome over there. Since I'm not worried about spooking anything else right now, I just want to collect this moose. If it was completely wounded, then yeah, you might have to track it for a while. If you gut shot or something like that. That's an old track. So you can see how the arrow is for which way I'm facing on the hunter mate. It's saying that the animal is traveling this direction. Yeah, I just picked up a different one. So come back to the one that I was on before. So I'm going to grab this track right here, and I'm going to look at it, and if it's still an old track telling me to go the opposite direction, then I'm going to change. Yeah, you'll have to do, when you're setting up, you go to log in, it'll suggest to create a new account if you don't have one. The reason why they do it through the hunter.com is they can track all your stats. I can pull up hunts that I did 3 years ago, and you can see what I did on that hunt, how many animals I killed, where I shot them, what weapons I shot them with, that kind of stuff. So it is good to track your stats on your hunts. You can get missions, rewards, awards, patches, things of that nature. There's collectibles you can find. Alright, so yeah, I rushed that shot earlier. That's why I have not picked up my animal yet. I'm going to go back to where we started from on the track. Since those other trail, the ones that I found were actually just normal tracks. They weren't blood trail. And I know I hit him because he staggered a little bit. When I made the shot, he was around this area. I can see a spot right here. I can see my tent off in the distance. So we'll pick back up on this right here. That I can see that it's a full dome, and so I know that it's actually moose roaming. And I saw him run this direction. So I know that he ran this way, but I just want to show that the tracks, if you follow them the wrong way, they'll lead you the opposite direction. They hit the water, and sometimes you can find like there's a track floating in the water here. Just kind of have to assume that, hey, okay, maybe it's hoof prints on the mud. Wow, that was a nice gust of wind out there. So yeah, see how on the bottom right hand corner of the screen you've got the icon of a guy standing up? Means that I am standing up. You see this track right here, which is just like a semicircle shape, it's not a completed dome, that's a different animal. So I don't want those tracks because they're going to take me off of the animal that I'm currently tracking. And I can look at them, they're glowing, pulsating red right there. Those are actually, I can tell those are deer tracks, not a moose track. But you look at that right there, it's just like a little semicircle, little crescent shape. I know that that's the wrong one. That's not the animal that I'm going for. The solid one is. So I just hit the control key, and that's going to make me crouch. If I hit it again, I'll go prone. Hit the shift key, I can stand back up. But when you're tracking an animal, or you see an animal and you're trying to get close to it, you want to be crouching. You make less noise when you're crouching. So even though I didn't get a clean kill shot, most of the time I actually do make one-shot kills. I promise. The next animal that I shoot will take my time with the shot instead of rushing it like I did. But if you get a good clean shot, all right, you see it now. I got that cone. I know that there's a high probability that he stay within the parameters of that cone, but also there's a dotted line circle around my character, or my icon in the center of the frickin' hunter mate there. So as long as that's dotted, it means it's relatively fresh. But if it is a solid black circle, you know, the ring itself is solid black, then it means it's really fresh. The more you level up your tracking, you'll get more information off of your tracks. So, see, he's still running. I wasted too much time going backtracking there. Again, the Q key is auto walk. So, Eagle, if you're going to get the game and get set up and get ready to play, I'm going to put Mother in bed here soon. So what I can do is I'll find this animal, and then you let me know when you're ready, and I'm going to be up until I get tired. So you can say, if you don't make a good clean shot, you may track an animal for a while. And if you get greedy and just try to run towards him, well, no, he's not going to run far, he's going to drop, and then, well, you end up standing up and walking, you make more noise, and if it wasn't a great shot, he may get back up and run some more. But there's also a chance that if you made a decent enough shot, then it can bleed out and just die on its own. Sometimes you actually have to take a second shot. I've come up on animals that I thought that, after I'd already shot them, they were on the ground, so I thought that they were dead, and get up close to them, they jumped up and run. So, should be relatively close. Now, here's the thing also with the multiplayer. If, we'll say, Eagle shoots an animal and it runs, and we're close to each other, I can come help him track his animal. So we can help each other out. I see a deer. And here's the conundrum. I'm still tracking this moose that I shot, and I need to be focused in on that. But I see a frickin' deer over there. And that's a doe. Alright. But if you got binoculars, look through your binoculars, hold steady on it, and you can see it pops up, black-tailed deer, female, wait, oh. Doe, you're a buck. Come back to you in a moment. Yep, you are a buck. Male, not a great score. You know what? Alright, hold still. Black powder rifle. I don't need to shoot him. So let's don't. I mean, I could break out the 308 and spank his butt. It's easy to get carried away, and I've done it. And my brother plays this game quite a bit, because years ago, my brother was like, "Why don't you help me find help find me a decent hunting game?" And I'm like, your ass ain't broke. You know how to use Google. You find your own shit. And I was like, whatever, no problem. So I started looking around trying to find a hunting game. And I'd played Deer Hunter. I had Deer Hunter Gold. And it was pretty cool. It had a multiplayer function where you could actually hunt with your friends, or there's even another version of the multiplayer where you can actually say if Eagle there is going to be the hunter, I could be the deer. And it's his thing to find me and hunt me down and kill me. Or my job as a deer to try to get close enough to the hunter and basically scent mark the area within like 10 meters. Try to get within 10 meters of the hunter, so to speak. And if the deer can sneak up to the hunter and tag him, essentially, then the deer wins. It was interesting. But, it wasn't great. And I kept looking. Oh, yeah. So finally, it's like, I came across this one. And that's when I got hooked on it. I ended up getting hooked on it. And this is not my thing. I'm not normally into a hunting game or... because it's not fast-paced action. But, believe it or not, it's relaxing as hell. And if you're hunting with a friend, you know, like, say, Eagle could be doing a hunt. You know, we're doing a multiplayer hunt. Black-tailed buck is following right behind me. Now, if I don't collect this animal that I shot and wounded, yeah, I actually don't even remember what the running key is. I can't see anything. Yeah, if I don't collect this animal that I wounded, then I will get an email from Doc. Doc is like the resident game warden. It doesn't, you don't get penalized any credits or anything like that, but you get a nasty email essentially from Doc saying, you know, you let that animal suffer and didn't whatever. And so if you're going to shoot them, you need to track them, you need to collect them. So I was about to say, if you're going to do a multiplayer, then if you shoot something and wound it, you can always get an extra hunter to, you know, you and your buddy can track them down together. Looks like I've lost the track on this guy. I've either completely lost the track or he's down and I walk past him, which has happened, and it is a video game. Things do happen from time to time that, you know, I have shot a bear, and the bear took off running, and it clipped through the ground, and it vanished under the world. And I got a nasty email from Doc for not claiming that animal, and, you know, kind of torqued me off a little bit. Because it was one of those really good animals, and it was a really good long-range shot, and I was really proud of it, and you know, the shot was off just a little bit, but still solid enough that he would have bled out quickly. And it just pissed me off. I saw him hit the hill, and then, like, what? What? He just clipped. So you got to tell me what weapons you got. You can actually look through, once you get all set up, you can glance through the store and see, it'll show like how many owned, if you already have something. I know you'll probably start off with the 243 rifle. Let's see. Alright, I don't know if you can see the pulsating dot circle right there next to the campfire icon on my hunter mate. That was a deer that was calling. I'm just going to walk back to this last track right here. You see the X's that are on my hunter mate are letting me know where the last tracking point was that I had. Last time I picked up a track, in other words. So I can actually come back to that now since I was tracking this animal. But yeah, fussing at you for running, you'll be able to see each other's characters walking around, and you look kind of funky whenever you're crouch walking, but crouch walking is 99% of what you're going to be doing. And this frickin' moose is just completely frickin' vanished, man. So if you stand up walking, you move a little bit faster. You're not a whole lot faster, but you are a little bit faster. But you're noisier, and you're going to scare animals. Alright, so I followed this track, and I don't have anything for this moose. So I guess what I need to do is abandon this hunt. I done screwed up. Now, he could have gone anywhere. He could have, just because the arrow, the cone right there. You see my arrow whenever I'm turning my player. You got that cone and that branches off from the last track. That's going to give you the approximate area to search to find the next track. That doesn't mean you're going to find it there. I have seen where the animal just took a hard left, and I've searched inside that cone for a half hour and not found anything. It pissed me off. And then to come back and register for a new The Hunter account. Right, you got to have a, whenever you're creating your setup, you've got to have the Hunter account, thehunter.com. So if you're setting it up, registered for a new The Hunter account. So yeah, tracking can get a little bit on the annoying side. So it's in your best interest to not shoot poorly. But the fact that I haven't found any more blood trails means that it didn't register as... Hello. Sorry, wind. Having one of those ooh squirrel moments. The wind's picking up to probably about 25-ish miles per hour right now. At some point tonight, I'm going to lose power, and it may be out for a couple days, which is going to suck. So I'm trying to enjoy myself as much as I possibly can. Alright, no moose. I've let this one get away. Holy crap, I see a bear. I don't know, can you guys see it? I know I'm playing 1080p, but the stream's coming out in 720p because of my crap internet. Thanks, AT&T. Right there behind this little clump of trees is a black bear. So I'll make sure I'm crouching, and I'm going to try to get a little closer. You made it so far. You're welcome to give your first weapon. 12 gauge single shot shotgun. So you can hunt everything. You just can't ethically kill a bison with that single shot shotgun. I've killed a bunch of stuff with that. Shotguns, typically you get 3 ammo choices. No, since you're not posting that on the YouTube stream, the rest of the people in the world can't see you. and you're posting it in a private channel on Discord on top of that. So, no, from what I understand, all reserves are open to hunt. All species are open to hunt. They are supposed to be changing all the stuff on the website, but it's listed and showing as free to play. If you got the shotgun, look through the store and see if you got the 243 rifle. I mean, even though I've got 4 of them, I can't give you one of them. It'd be nice if I could, but I can't give away any of my extra weapons. I got like 4 or 5 of the same rifle and 4 pairs of binoculars of the same type, and I can't sell them, the extras, and I can't give them away, so. Alright. Oh, you got 243 carbon? You suck. A ground blind? A 3-day membership. I don't think that's going to be a thing. That's going to be something, part of the old stuff. But verify in the store part that you got the 243 and you got the shotgun. I think if you want to carry a pistol, you actually have to buy a holster if you want to have that 3rd slot. As far as I know, there is no more memberships. So it's cool that you're setting that up, so I know, and we can tell people. Yeah, the tutorials are good to follow. I've lost track of where I was going with that bear. I see him. I see the bear. Alright, the bear is... I'm looking at... Yeah, run through your tutorials. Oh, here he is, right there. Black bear, female, 40 to 140 kilograms. That's not a whole. Yeah, that's not really helpful. So I'm going to stalk back around this way, see if I can get a good shot. And I'll use the 308 again. But if I get too close, I got my big boy. Dirty Harry can kiss my butt. That's a 454 Kazoo. Makes a 44 Magnum look like a 22. So I've got the volume turned down so that it's not bleeding through my microphone. Oh, shit. That's a rock. Okay. Thought that was the bear. That's the bear. What the hell? Occasionally they will do that. They'll get stuck on a tree. You can hit the spacebar to hold your breath when you're scoped in. Every so often, when you get a set of trees that are actually too close together like that, the animals will get stuck in between them. Sometimes like that, they'll find a way out. Uh-oh. Oh, God. Oh, I got scared right there. Yeah, the bear just stood up on its hind legs and roared at me like it was going to come kick my ass. So here's a good blood. I can look at that right there, and that bright colored blood usually is going to tell you that it's a lung shot. Whereas darker colored blood would probably be gut shot. So that was a black bear female. Score was 13.5. You can take a trophy shot. I'll do it this time just for shits and grins. There's me in my trapper outfit holding an invisible hunter's mate. You can scroll around. There's some other stuff you can do to manipulate the animal to move them around a little bit, but apply filters. I haven't played around with this much, except this is something new right here. Do you want to taxidermy or sell this animal? Taxidermize or sell. I just sell, and it's going to give me 17 GM. I don't have a lodge anyway, so it's not like I can put it up there in a lodge. And I see another frickin' bear. Right click's going to go into your scope mode. Another female. Could have taken the shot, but it wasn't going to be a great shot. Like I said, this spot right here, I can't remember, but I think if I were to host a multiplayer, then you should be able to join at my tent as well. So I'm not going to stalk this bear. I'm going to go ahead and head back to the store, take a look at things. Go check on Mother, get her tucked into bed because it's 1 o'clock in the morning. And then I'll be back. I'll be on Discord. Yeah, there's an in-game chat as well as Discord. So let's say if in-game, just use the in-game chat. Like I said, I've got a buttload of weapons, so I'm just hitting escape and quit game. Yes, and I'm going to get an email from Doc. But at the end, you can get view. Oh, let me change over. Get view hunt statistics. Click on that. Comes up. There's Red Feather Falls. All I did was harvested that one bear. Gives you the basic stats of the bear or the animal you killed, what weapon you used, how far away it was, how many shots I hit, that kind of stuff. But since I did not pick up the if I hit that moose, which I didn't see any blood, if I'd hit that moose, then it would have said that I let it rot essentially. But you got achievements. $1 sheep. I just got that today. That's because it's a new animal. And feral goat, rusa. I got my 100th feral hog kill in the EHR. 25 kills with a 223. Wood. Animals. Total harvest. Black bear. 66 black bear. 50 blacktail. Yeah. 100 feral hogs. I've killed over 100 moose. But you can go back through and see all the different animals you've killed. Weapons. How many kills you've made with whatever weapons, that kind of stuff. Exploration. You can check your skills. Like species. I'm level 1 on Alpine Ibex and level 2 on tracking. So you can see like that. Pretty good on feral hogs. That's a new animal. I haven't seen him yet. And I don't know why I don't have anything on grizzly. I've killed grizzly before. Still want a frickin' polar bear. Damn it. I've only been playing for a day, so since I started back up again. But I'll get me a darn polar bear. Yeah, you can check the store, and what you want to look for is weapons. You've got a 243 and you've got a single barrel shotgun, which that single barrel shotgun is right here. You can see that there's 3 different types of ammo: birdshot, buckshot, and slugs. This will give you an idea. And when you first starting off, it's kind of relatively easy to remember. Birdshot on birds and buckshot on most other animals. Slugs on big things. The only thing you cannot kill is bison with the shotgun, as far as I know. So if you look like bison right here, there's a white X in all 3 categories. Bentang. Bantang is like a Cape buffalo or a water buffalo kind of deal. Looks like a big ass cow. But you can't kill them. You can't kill bison. I mean, you can, but it'll be listed as unethical and you won't get any points for it. There's no point in doing it. No water buffalo and no werewolves. So you can kill everything else though. So if we do a multiplayer, if my power holds up, the rain and wind's getting a little bit stronger now. But as long as it holds up, the slugs, well, you 243, you got a scope to go with it, right? So if you look, rifles, scroll down, you'll see where it says, by the rifle, you'll see like, you own 1. Since that one is actually all the way at the bottom of the list, 243 bolt action rifle. There's a bunch of different scopes that can go on it, but I think the 4x32, yeah, it says I own 5. You should have that scope right there, so you should be okay. So as long as you've got that rifle and that shotgun, you should be good to go. And we'll do multiplayer, Beefalo Bart's game. And basically what you're doing is when you go to that, find a multiplayer game, and if you don't see it in here, then hit refresh button, and if you want, you can show only games I'm allowed to join, hit refresh, it'll rescan, and just kind of scroll down until you actually find my game. But it'll be multiplayer game. I can do that same map, and yeah, I got a few things I got to take care of really quick too. I got to put Mom in bed, and we'll go outside and take a look at this wind. But I'll do this one, and game password. So if anybody else is going to join in too, I don't care if anybody else joins in, but I'm going to set max players of 3. So it'll be me and Eagle, and if anybody else gets in, then what we'll do is game password is all lowercase BEEF. Beef. Hello, Bart. Easy enough. I mean, if anybody else figures it out, good, they can come in. Damn, I should have done this right here. Recruit your friends. I should have sent you an invitation that way. I could have got some cool shit, but oh, whatever. But we'll do that same map. There's moose, there's white-tailed deer, black-tailed deer, Roosevelt elk. I've got calls for everything, so you won't need to worry about anything other than just your weapons, your ammunition, your scope, and you should be able to start at my tent. I've already got it selected for myself. Start it there. Whenever you get in, let me know, and if you can't start at the tent, let me know, and we can both start here at this Trapper's Rest Lodge. It's these islands right in here, all the way up to like where this tripod is. This area right in here is the hot spot. That's why I've got a tint there. So, game is set up. This is all the login information you'll need. And friends. So I'm not going to start the game just yet, but let me go take care of Mom and get everything else situated. And I'm not going to stream playing multiplayer because that would just be too much on my system. Well, my internet connection at least. But yeah, I should be able to host a game. You should be able to join me just fine. And I will be back shortly. I'll see you on Discord.